Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the coloring drawing of, you say, is a Princess Lee. Is like, it's like a story by Jaycee Dugard along with the stolen life, and a memoir is talking about, is a fact about, it's like, the story about Jaycee Lee Dugard, and of course talking about is that with names is being known by proper names, and then of course it maybe could be nicknames, or if you say proper names, or names that your friends and families, you say, is that the people that you're close to, that they, which they know you by. But of course I went ahead and drew right here, which I'm sure that most of us would remember some of the stuff from whenever they were in grade school, kindergarten, first grade. You say that first it was like that you would show up for class, say, all dressed up. It's like all in your school clothes and stuff like that. Sometimes I guess the ladies would wear makeup and stuff, but they would show up for class, and then they would sit at their desk. And then whenever I was a kid, I remember that I think it was kindergarten to first and second grade, you say third and fourth, that you would not a lot of times that I guess it depended on what school, but they would not let you just pick out a seat, that whatever your seat that your name was on. And of course with Princess Lee is talking about with names, is that a lot of times that they would assign you a seat, that they would maybe do with something short like K, or maybe it's like O. It's like give a proper name, or J. J is like for Jessica or something like that. But they would they give you assign you a seat, and a lot of times that seat would be the same seat that you would have to sit at each and every day that you show up for class. And I remember that they with the different desks and stuff like that, at the schools that I went to, of course, that they had to where they got the seats that you just walk up to the desk, and then you would take a seat. Sometimes you would even have the chair stacked up on top of the desk, and you would take it down in order to be able to sit down. And then some schools, whenever you go into like junior high and high school years, that they would have it to where they got like a desk like this. But other than that, with the desk, but so far as the proper names goes, is that they talk about is like if you're working with a variety of colors, and of course it's you got the mixed up red, and then along with the say orange, and then green, and then along with the it's like yellow. But you got these different colors right here. But then of course I'll go ahead and start right here is with this blue crayon right here, and of course is that just the coloring a little bit of the desk right here. But if I remember right, that whenever I was in school, that a lot of times with the coloring they would have you do colorings, but knowing is like for that proper nickname for Princess Lee is the names is that they would give you work to do, and a lot of times it's that they would have you work on like a notebook pad like this, and as far as I can remember that they would do it to where that they will give you like a line, kind of like this. I'll go ahead and draw like an example right here. It would measure right about about maybe 1 inch, something like that. But they would see here. Go ahead and draw like the dots. Of course, it's about 15 years ago. It's been about 15 years since I've been in the second and third grade. So I would not exactly remember all the details about what the papers look like, but if they wanted you to write say that the letter B, the letter B, that they I would write it like that. And then of course this line right here would either mean between an uppercase and a lowercase b. And of course that I didn't learn how to write in cursive until I think until like the fifth and I think in fourth, fifth grade is whenever I learned how to write in cursive. But I guess you say like the capital B would be written kind of like that right there, and then of course with the uppercase you say B. you have it to where you got the with the whatever they teach you so far as language arts. But I would probably say that the language arts and of course art were one of my favorite subjects. And I would probably say whenever I was in school, I would probably say that my handwriting looked at about like this, and then of course a little bit like this too, until it's like I went to the actual notepad, and then of course it started getting smaller. And I would probably say that I if go ahead and write on here is that the same word right there is like family, and of course I can write it in cursive. It's like you'll put F, F, and then A, M-I-L-Y. Barely see that, but basically is that whenever you write in cursive, and nowadays it seems like they have it mainly on like the computers, on they have you doing it on the computers, on the Nukes and the Apple e-readers, you say, but whenever I went to school, a lot of times is that they would have it to where you would write they would teach you basic writing skills and about how to pronounce your name. But so far with Princess Lee is that I remember that most of the teachers, if you didn't write your name on your schoolwork, let's just say it could be math or science class or biology class, or it could be social studies class, English class, whatever it is, that one or two teachers I know, maybe a few teachers, that if you did not write your name, which I would have included, like basically the story about Jaycee Dugard, and then along right here you got 5380 as in May 3rd, 1980, and of course use that date right there. But most teachers would probably say if you didn't write your name on the school paper, then more likely that they would toss it, throw it in the recycling. And I just really I guess one of the purposes was due to the fact because they I guess they didn't think that they need the grade. They didn't know who to hand the paper to, I guess, after they graded it or something. But of course, I don't think that's ever happened to me, which a lot of times I do put my name on there. But of course, if you do a number of work, it's like just like me. It's like I'm not. I am not the author of the book. I'm just the artist here. This artwork. But let's just say that with the Princess Lee right here is just to add just a little bit of detail. Let's see, is working with the little bit of the red here. Is to make it so far as the story about the subject so far with Jaycee Lee Dugard is like known as Princess Lee, is to make it. It's like make this this image, as you say, of the book title is like make it look say pretty, and then make it look say as presented by who people known you by the most, and I would probably say that on the most part that whenever I would show up for class, a lot of times that a lot of people would not have that certain name for me. A lot of times it was either Giggles or you say Alana boy or something like that. Then there was quite a few name calling that I had, but I remember that a lot of times is that just try to ignore those students, and then of course it's like you gotta have right there got details, but of course is to go ahead and work a little bit on with the green here. Just add a little bit of green right there, and then of course a little bit of green right here for the outfit. It's like if a Jaycee were to be wearing something nice, say kind of say casual, it's like, or it could be something something to look presented for like a presentation, or you say it's homework assignments or anything. I remember whenever I was in school that if I remember right that projects were kind of like if it were it's like your projects or any activities such as show and tell whatever you call it, that a lot of times, my